I'd like to speak on the topic of the commercialization of Christmas and how the retail business has changed the true meaning of Christmas. This commercialization is people driven, and the retailers actually give to the people what they want because it is filling their pockets up with money. Christmas started out small and was symbolic of Jesus Christ's birth. In an article in Small Business Trends, the first Christmas tree was actually put up in America in 1747 in the Moravian Church in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And I thought this was sort of ironic because the same town, Bethlehem, where Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea so many years ago. At this time, people just made handcrafts and hung on their trees. This was their decorations. But in 1880, Woolworth actually had a shipment of glass bulbs brought in for decoration and sold to the public. And this was some of the first commercialization of Christmas and how people took it to the next level. In the early 20th century, Santa Claus was introduced. And when Santa Claus was introduced, this changed Christmas totally. Santa Claus actually evolved from the Dutch patron Sinterklaas or Saint Nicholas, who came to the town once a year and gave out gifts. In 1920, Santa Claus and Coca-Cola hooked up for commercials. Now, as commercials come, TV's on, advertisements, Santa Claus advertises everything. He is the big push in Christmas. Their meaning has changed from Jesus Christ and the birth to what Santa Claus is going to give. In 1939, an employee of Montgomery Ward wrote the story of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer to give out to people in their stores free. And they have taken it today and made another multi-million dollars off of a story that was given for nothing. Anything to make money. And there are many other promotions that have been taken out of context and sent into the commercial side of Christmas. An article from Crosswalk talks about the humble beginnings of Christmas. That Christmas was to feed the hungry, to clothe the poor, to give to those that were less fortunate. In the beginning, very few people received gifts from it. Children, pastors, missionary, and other clergy was the only ones that ever received gifts. But as time evolved and went on, greed set in. You know, Christmas now is greed driven. People look for savings to buy more. And the more they save, the more they buy. They want to start shopping earlier. Christmas used to start the day after Thanksgiving. Now it starts in the middle of October. Going up to Thanksgiving, then we have Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all month-long savings sales. And the new thing now is stores being open on Thanksgiving, and they call it early bird specials. This is another way that the retailers are taking advantage of people. They're actually taking their employees' time away from their families where they were usually closed, where the greed of money has made them open their doors to let people come in and buy. Christians have been blamed for a lot of this. Now, as we said earlier, the first Christmas tree was in this church in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. But all this didn't just evolve from Christians. An article from Fox News talks about and Christians today are complying to the world. And as churches and ministers, we preach to our congregations about conforming to the world, where the Bible tells us not to conform to the world, but to separate ourselves from the world. we allow the true meaning of Christmas to be brushed away. A lot of places now will tell you happy holidays. And Christians will go along with it and tell them happy holidays, where we should be saying Merry Christmas, because that is what the true meaning, that is to lift Christ up. A lot of our homes and churches have gone away from Christmas things, manger scenes, wise men, shepherds, and completely secular. A lot of our churches don't have anything. But we don't need to be compromised. The world is taking verses from the Bible. Use the scripture of the wise men, giving gifts to Jesus Christ. There's a reason for us to give gifts to each other. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave. And they want to use that scripture as a reason to give gifts. And gifts are not bad, but when we do so much, to give so much, and spend so much to people, then we have to stop there. In closing, I want us to remember the true meaning of Christmas. That money shouldn't drive us, that Christ should. True Christians don't spend all their money on gifts, but the true gifts are free. And the gift that Jesus gave is the best gift of all.